Everybody for coming out tonight. I really appreciate it, and I'm talking as loud as I can. The first question that every candidate is asked is, why are you running? And thankfully, I'm amongst friends because the answer is I don't know. But luckily, I've been in enough places where I've seen what passes for representation in the 34th district, and I believe that's motivation enough.
We're standing with Ralph Campenera, and he is a supporter and friend of David P. Bauer. Ralph, why do you support David P. Bauer?
He's a great guy. He's very smart. He cares about people, and I think he'd be an outstanding state representative. He's done a phenomenal job on the council in Middletown, and if he puts that same effort towards being a state rep, he'll certainly be one of the best.
David ran for head of the Republican Town Council. He put his mind to it. He wanted to do it, even though those other people didn't want him on there, didn't think he was worthwhile, wanted to take the position back, but he stuck to his guns. He got the votes, and he's probably the best president we've ever had. And it's dedication like that we need in Hartford, plain and simple.
The infrastructure is totally dependent on the state of Connecticut. You've got people in Middletown that are interested in smart growth and preservation of open space. But what makes it tough for us to do that is the fact that we need to underwrite our quality of life by creating grand lists in the traditional sense, which means develop as much property as you can, good, bad, or indifferent.
We've been friends for a long time, and we've both run for office. And what's interesting about David is David actually says things, and he means them, and like all politicians say things, but they don't really mean them. And I can talk from experience that David is a very, very, very loyal guy, and he will go to the end of the earth and beyond to get something done that he believes is right. It might not always be popular, but it's interesting to watch David work, and I've been watching him a long time. And although it takes a while to understand sometimes what he's talking about, David really, really, really will help the people. And he does. He means what he says. And I know it's a cliche and all that, but it's great. Yellow signs, David, and they were good for something 4 years later. Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good.
And what I can say seriously is that I have definitely enjoyed my opportunity to serve on the municipal level, but it has taught me just how much we need good representation up at the state level to make things work properly in our communities. So that's my motivation for running. I appreciate everybody's support, and I will go out there and do everything I can to improve the representation for East Hampton, Middletown, and the state of Connecticut. So thank you very much.
Extremely important that we elect Katherine Johnson to the State House of Representatives and Ralph Campenera to the State Senate. The reason why we're so interested in David and Katherine is because to Ralph for the State Senate is because in order to make a difference on all the issues that we care about, lower taxes and lower spending and making the state a better climate for our businesses, our small businesses to thrive and to make our communities better places to live and to work and to raise a family is because we need to elect more Republicans.
Well, obviously, this is a fundraiser, and the fundraiser is because I'm running for state office, and a campaign like this requires money, and this is public financing, so I'm definitely on the campaign trail raising money tonight. Somebody asked if I could answer a question that hasn't been asked. Somebody asked about why the yellow signs. And the way I explain is that I think these yellow signs signify a bit of my own personality. The yellow stands for cowardice, and the blue stands for fidelity. So I like to think of myself as the loyal coward.
Thank you, David. I appreciate your time.
And I appreciate my time also.
He's a maverick. He wants to change things. He's a smart fellow. My mother would say that, sorry. And he actually considers things with a fresh point of view.
Pieces of property that maybe should be preserved might get developed because we have to grow grand list. We can't do things to encourage redevelopment of mature areas of our community because of the way the structure is. We have to do things mostly in the area of education without sufficient funding. And unless something changes, what we are going to end up being in the area of local government is simply a local agency of state policy.
David does a heck of a job. He analyzes everything, gets the job done when jobs need to be done, and he follows through. He's not like people, they'll say they're going to do this, they're going to do that. But David's conscientious, and he's sincere about the people that he's going to run for. So he's a good representative for the people of his district. He's going to make a good legislator.
David Bauer, because I'm looking for a change and someone who's going to work with the governor up in Hartford and hopefully to reduce our taxes and also at the same time reduce spending, which is something that's been a real problem in Hartford for the last, many years. So I'm voting for David Bauer for a real change.
The people that gave you this problem aren't going to solve it. If they knew how to solve it, they'd have done that already. So anybody who's been sitting up there for the last 20 years, and even if they haven't been sitting up there for the last 20 years, if they cut their teeth on that system, they're not going to be the ones to change it. They're going to keep doing the things they've always done and trying to convince you that the result will be different next time. Somebody said that was the definition of insanity.
I think Dave has the experience on the Middletown City Council as well as the knowledge to improve the 34th District, unlike the current state representative.
And so I'm here to support David, but also my buddy who was here before, Ray Kalinowski. It's very important that we send Ray Kalinowski back to the House of Representatives.
And because I know him. Indeed, probably 90% of what I know about politics comes from Dave Bauer. I met him in the course of just hanging out on Court Street, where he was, rubbing elbows with the common people, not afraid of street folks. The only other politician I ever met on the streets of Middletown would be, of course, the mayor. Yeah, I can't say I ever bumped into Tom Serra or Richard Daley or Mr. Streeto, walking around Middletown, shaking hands and talking to folks.
Why do you think he's the best president we've ever had, if you want to be specific, or a good councilman for that matter?
He pays attention to detail. He doesn't take no for an answer, if you notice, David. He just doesn't go with the status quo. He challenges people, and frankly, I think he's one of the most honest politicians we have in Middletown, to be perfectly blunt.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Well, I've known Dave for a long time. Nobody's going to outwork him. Nobody is going to buy David Bauer. You send him to Hartford, and he's going to be the guy that's going to watch out for the 34th District. That will be his, his main focus is on what's good for the 34th District, what's good for the people of the 34th District.
Well, I'm excited about Dave because he's very enthusiastic about some change for the state of Connecticut. He's passionate, he cares about people, and I think Governor Rell needs a lot of help up in the legislature right now. Taxes are out of control. Businesses are leaving the state of Connecticut. We need some help here. I love this state. I want to stay here. People want to stay here. It's a great place to raise your children. It's a great place to live and work. I think Dave supports those values, and I want him in our legislature.
He's a hard worker, and I think he's going to bring a lot to the district and help East Hampton, South Middletown, and we want to get rid of Gail Ham.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.